MTL, or the money transmitter license on Vivi. It allows us to take our money from Vivi into our bank account, or really anywhere we want to. Will the market crash? Will it go crazy down? Or will it soar to new all-time highs? In short, yes.
Welcome back to Sody Pop on YouTube, and we are here to talk about MTL, or Money Transmitter License for Vivi, which will allow you to take your money from Vivi or gems from Vivi, convert it into US dollars or your local currency, and take it to your bank account, and most likely back and forth. So what does this mean? Number one, you will need to do KYC AML, which stands for Know Your Customer and Anti-Money Laundering. This is pretty normal for bank accounts or Robinhood accounts or Webull accounts in the USA. You go ahead and give them your driver's license, your social security number, and they make sure you're a real person that isn't in trouble or anything. This will most likely exclude any jurisdictions or any nations that currently have some sort of levy on them against maybe the US or other big nations. It will probably also exclude under 18-year-olds, especially in the USA. So what do other major financial institutions do for people who are under 18? Let's take a look. This is Robinhood, and they have these custodial accounts. So what does it mean? It means you can actually open an account for a minor, and then once they reach of age in your local jurisdiction, you can transfer that account to under their name. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that are below 18 right now. I know there's a few listeners that I have that are not 18, and this will allow you to give that money or the account to the 18-year-old once they've come of age. So this just goes to show you that we might have to see something like this in Vivi, or Vivi just might not allow MTL for under 18-year-old accounts quite yet. Another concern people have is that tons of people will cash out of these major gains they've been making. Yes, that may happen, especially in the short term, but this goes back to if you believe in Vivi, if you believe in the collectibles and the different statues they have. And this goes back to what I talked about for many times. Have a solid investment thesis. For me, for the Todd Batman, this is a first ever Batman NFT, first ever Vivi collectible. It means something to me. Until that changes, I'm not worried. And that goes for pretty much any collectible. You can have a similar investment thesis. Keep that in mind and have that for every one of your collectibles. I believe in the short term, yes, we might see a drop of people cashing out. And more importantly, whales who have tons of money will make it seem more drastic than it really is. So they'll drop the prices because they have so many collectibles and so much cash that they can just put on the market that it'll look like everything is dropping and life is crumbling around you, when it might not be as bad if just the people who wanted to actually take their profits cashed out. So it'll crumble in the short term, and I think it will recover over the long term. And for me, my 5-year plan with Vivi is that it will do pretty darn well, especially with its major partners. So keep that in mind. And you could possibly take advantage of this in the short term if the market crashes. If you have a bunch of gems set aside, you could cash in to that as well. So everything I just said depends on the MTL happening just all at once around the app, just like how the market opens. Is this true? Well, in the AMA a few weeks ago, they said they're rolling this out in phases and they're already testing it out. However, Taps, have you heard of anyone that's tested this out?
As I can already say, I don't have access to MTL, and I was a sub 5,000 user in February. So I think it's very selective, and like OG might be like those who were around back in October. Right.
Yeah.
But we haven't even heard anyone say, hey, I have access to MTL. Like no one on Twitter or no one's even said anything.
No, neither have I. We don't know who's testing it out right now. I personally haven't heard of anyone. I've not heard of anyone who's heard of anyone. So we're not sure how many phases, how many people are actually using MTL currently. But it means if they're testing it, they probably have the money transmitter license, and they're not just going to put it out in one big swath. In order for a huge market dump to happen, I would think it would need to happen all at once for them to release it. However, if they release it and it's slow over the course of the year or several months, we will not see that much of an effect all at once on Vivi. Thus, whales won't be able to take advantage. It could be a big nothing burger, as has happened in crypto and stocks and everything before. Just because everyone is expecting it means it might not be likely to happen. Overall, MTL is a massively great thing for Vivi. When I first joined back in March, I wasn't sure if Vivi was going to allow cash out or how long it would take. I also wasn't sure if they were going to put everything on the blockchain. There's a lot of these uncertainties. They kind of said they would, they wouldn't. Even in the AMA just recently, they said there was no plans for money transmitter license, that everything was just going to be inside the app.
The plan in the beginning was never to have any kind of cash out mechanism. I mean, the idea was to basically, buy collectibles and have fun with the collectibles that you own.
Which to me, it's just crazy. Doesn't mean these are real NFTs at all just because it's on a blockchain, but it's a totally locked ecosystem would be concerning. Now that they're opening up to Ethereum and Immutable X and they're allowing you to cash out, this is the true open but walled ecosystem that I was hoping for. And because of this, it makes it a lot more attractive to outside investors, makes it more attractive to people who are interested in crypto. This is a big, big win for VeVe in the long term. If anything, I just believe MTL makes VeVe even more attractive to outside and people in the inside. For me, for example, I would not ever invest in VeVe if they said everything was just going to be inside the app and never ever move. That just sounds crazy to me, and for me, it wouldn't be a true NFT. Yeah, maybe I might put in $100 or so, but definitely not the attention and detail I have recently. Of course, no one knows what will happen once the MTL is fully released into the VeVe app. I have laid out a few possibilities, and you can possibly take advantage of those if they do come to fruition. Again, I like to use the method of what will I regret the least, and that comes down to the 3-bucket strategy of being prepared for most possibilities. So 1 bucket, you have your gems. The middle bucket, you have your short-term trades or short-term holds, which you use to get more gems, and then more blue chips, which is the 3rd bucket, which is blue chips, long-term holds, things you think will rise in price over the course of years, since these collectibles are worth something. Overall, I think MTL will be a big positive for the VeVe app. It lends more credence to what we've always known, is that VeVe NFTs are premium and worth something. Could we see some volatility? Absolutely, as I previously stated. And remember, I go live 30 minutes before every single drop right here on YouTube at SodiPop Media. Follow me on the 3Ts and IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram. And please like, follow, subscribe, share on your Twitter, share with any of your friends who you think might be interested. It really helps me create more content, be more creative in general. I love doing this for you all. But until then, remember,
Be yourself
and eat a cookie. Bye.